Mr. Cliff, you've got a campaign to bring back Glenn Beck. Let's talk about this. What's it all about?
We've been concerned about what happened to Beck for some time. And of course, through my work at AIM, we've been trying to make sure we have more conservative media voices. We've been criticized in the liberal media since Reed Irvine, your father, started the group. But I got more and more concerned about what was happening to Fox News, especially with Beck, I think the facts demonstrate, being forced out. And as I got to thinking more and more about it, I thought we ought to do something about it. And so we know that he's doing well on his GBTV, his internet TV show. We know he still has his radio show. But when I started looking into why he left Fox News, I became very concerned because the cover story was that, well, it was a mutual decision. He was going to leave. They were going to continue to work on projects together. In other words, it was an amicable parting. But the more I looked into it, the more I realized that was not the case, and that something bad happened at Fox News to get rid of Beck. And as a matter of fact, we all know publicly that Soros contributed, for example, $1 million to Media Matters, the left-wing hit job group, and Beck referred to that as $1 million bounty on his head to get rid of him. And then we found out that there were other threats and pressure made on Fox News to get rid of him. Other Soros-funded groups were part of a campaign to dry up his advertising, to force him off the air. We even talked to a private investigator who interviewed some Fox News personnel who talked about threats being made against them because of what Beck was doing to expose the operations of George Soros. Now, this isn't just something that we're relying on a private investigator to document, although some of that information is sensitive. Glenn Beck himself, on his radio show, has openly talked about the fact that one of his top people, was visited by a Soros representative and told in no uncertain terms, we don't want you subjecting George Soros to scrutiny. We want this to stop. And Beck himself has talked about that being a threat. So in order to counteract that, we think that's an obvious violation of First Amendment free speech rights. We want to bring him back to Fox News. We know he's doing fine on internet TV, but let's face it, he would have had more of an impact if he had stayed on cable TV. And so we launched the Bring Back Beck campaign, bumper stickers, ads, buttons, and Beck himself on his GBTV has thanked us for this, saying, you know, I appreciate it, but he says, look, I'm doing fine on internet TV. But we're saying, okay, Glenn, there's nothing wrong with being on internet TV, but going back on Fox News. And so we're actually, well, we're asking Roger Ailes, the chairman of Fox, to immediately begin negotiations again with Glenn Beck to bring him back, because there was nobody like Beck. Look, some people have problems with certain things he said. I wasn't in agreement with 100% of everything. Who is? But he was performing a public service. He was the one media personality subjecting George Soros and his operations to scrutiny. And now Beck's gone because of pressure from Soros. So we're saying to Fox, basically, and News Corporation, their parent, recognize you made a mistake. You buckled under pressure. You shouldn't have done it. Bring Beck back. And we think we've come across a lot of people here at the Conservative Political Action Conference who like this campaign, who appreciate it, who want to bring him back. And they're tired of what they perceive, and I perceive, as a leftward drift by Fox News. It's not just getting rid of Beck. As we've documented at Accuracy in Media, they've hired some left-wing feminist commentators as paid contributors. Sally Cohn is one. Another is Jamu Green, who used to run Project Vote, which is an Acorn front group. And these women, who are graduates of the Jane Fonda Women's Media Center, are appearing with more regularity on Fox News. Now, look, I understand the need to be, quote, fair and balanced, but we're hearing from a lot of conservatives who say, if I want to watch Sally Cohn or Jammu Green or people like them, I'll tune into MSNBC. You know, I tune into Fox News to get a conservative point of view, and that's being watered down. And we're telling Fox News conservatives are tired of it. You know, Fox News became a successful company because it provided conservatives a voice. And that's how they've become so successful, the most popular cable channel there is. And now they're threatening all that by watering down the message under pressure from the left-wing groups, by getting rid of Beck, by hiring people like Sally Cohn and Jammu Green, and we're telling them it's time to stop. We're not going to take it anymore. We want you to recognize the error, the problems you've created. Make Fox, again, a true conservative voice.
All right, so where can people find out more about the campaign?
A lot of our information is up at a new website we've done exposing George Soros. It's called sorosfiles.com, and you will see several reports about what happened at Fox News, including our talk with the private investigator, including a link to what Beck himself said about the threats that were carried out against his personnel. sorosfiles.com is our really one-stop shopping website for everything you wanted to know about George Soros. In fact, we launched this when Beck left Fox News, saying we were going to pick up where Glenn Beck left off. But at the same time, as we've subsequently learned and we've done, we're saying, look, Beck doesn't have to be gone from Fox News. They got rid of him. We can bring him back. And we're asking conservatives to go to sorosfiles.com, learn about what really happened to Glenn Beck, help us get our bumper stickers, get the buttons. We're giving them away free at CPAC, and call Fox News. Call or email Fox News and tell them you want to bring Beck back.